have a question for you about, Dan and I were talking about the Nazi issue, and for yourself, because, I had relatives that fought in World War II, and I'm sure you did as well, Dmitry. Just could you just talk a little bit about what it's been like, for you at work, like when you're trying to talk to Westerners about the Nazis in Ukraine? What kind of reception are you getting? Are they listening to that at least, or some countries are, or some representatives are and some aren't? What is that like?
Well, for us, still everything that is connected with the Second World War, Great Patriotic War, as we call it, is still an open wound. And you really would find it's very emotional with all the citizens of my country, and we are over emotional to these things. We are very much intolerant to all the glorification of Nazism, all the attempts to rewrite history, and also to distort the history of Second World War, and, as you said, to diminish the role of the Soviet Union. It's not about the role of the Soviet Union, it's about the people who sacrificed their lives for the freedom of the others. So I happened to work in Poland for 3 years as deputy ambassador, and I remember that the whole Poland is kind of a big cemetery. There are a lot of graves, a lot of Soviet graves, a lot of German graves as well, and Polish graves, but Soviet graves are quite numerous. It's about 600,000 people who lost their lives for liberating Poland. And now these people are not being paid any respect by the government of Poland. This is contrary to what people think. And I remember people were much more tolerant at this time. They were kind of tidying up these graves. They were bringing flowers during holidays. So I haven't felt any Russophobia at the level of simple Poles. But at the level of political elite, of course, this was very Russophobic. And again, for us, it's more, maybe we are more sensitive to this. I remember I was on the interview with some guy, some young person from the UK, who was neutral, I would say, and we were discussing these things. And I was telling him it was the situation when there was a Nazi symbol on Zelensky's website, which was displayed, and this Totenkopf symbol, which is normally very sensitive to the UK as well, because some of the British citizens also perished from the hands of this battalion, this Nazi battalion. And when I was telling it to him, I saw absolute indifference in his eyes, and he asked me a question: is it really worth for starting a war? So, it was very hard for me to answer this question for him, because we're kind of from different planets. For me, this is really something which is very serious. If it's something maybe theatrical today, then tomorrow it will lead to another war, for sure. For him, this is just people, weird people. It's, I don't know, maybe for him it's kind of being weird, being queer, I don't know, whatever. So maybe all these kind of things. But for me, it's absolutely very, very serious. And for vast majority of my compatriots, even for young people, this is something that we will not tolerate. And then, of course, when they are kind of promoting these things in Ukraine, they are throwing salt into our eyes. This is you need to realize this, that this is very painful for all of us to realize it. And of course, we will not tolerate this kind of situation at our borders.
Understood. I mean, it is shocking as an American citizen to watch the elite in the governments decide to support and fund, not only support, but fund and arm Nazis in Ukraine that are committing horrible atrocities. And